Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm going to talk about and show you how to make elderleaf tincture. Actually, it's a decocted elderleaf tincture, and because it's good against viruses, and specifically it has a role against coronavirus. This is an elder plant we planted a year ago or so, and it's taken over this spot. It's quite invasive. It's a beautiful plant. At this time of year, it doesn't have any fruit or flowers, but as you can see, the leaves are anywhere from 7 to 9, perhaps more, leaflets on each leaf. And I've cut a branch earlier. This represents about 2 ounces of leaf. And then what we're going to do is cook it. You've probably heard that, hold on, you may have heard that elder is toxic. It's not true. Elder is an emetic for 25% of people, and you may be one of them. So you don't want to eat it raw. You don't want to tincture it raw. You want to cook it, just like callo, taro, or rhubarb. They're toxic if you eat them. They really are. They'll choke you. This will just make you want to puke if you're one of the 25%. So come on into the kitchen, show you what we're going to do. It's really pretty simple. You're going to start with 2 full quarts of water. You're going to put them in your saucepan. 1, 2. Then you're going to take 2 ounces of leaves. So for me, I cut them here, and I measure 2 ounces, and this turns out to be about 2 ounces. I happen to also then cut up the stem because it's strong medicine, it's good medicine. And what you want to do is cut it small, 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 and you want to cook it, boil it. It doesn't have to be a rolling boil, but you want to boil it till it's at least down to a quart. Come on over here and take a look. And then you have a strong decoction of cooked elderleaf. And that's your medicine. I'm going to strain it through some cheesecloth. And then find out how much I've got. So what I did was I cut it small, and then I used an immersion blender to make it smaller. Because the idea is you want small pieces so that you get as much plant material in contact with the solution as possible. And I just hand strain my tinctures, do a little twist, and basically this is the medicine. It won't keep without preserving it somehow. And so what I do is I preserve it with alcohol, 20% alcohol. So if I had it down to a quart, which is the minimum you want to get it to, you would add 250 milliliters or a cup of alcohol, grain alcohol. If you're using vodka, you have to boil it further so that you've got it down half again, down to a pint. I hope this isn't confusing. But if you got grain alcohol, I use, here in Hawaii, this is a joke, we've got grain alcohol from the mainland, of course, and in Ashland, Oregon, they make organic cane alcohol, which I can't get here. So I use Clear Springs. If you got vodka, vodka's only 40% alcohol. And so you need to reduce this down to at least a pint from the 2 quarts. Then what I do is I measure what I've got. I've got a scale, and I like to use grams because it's easier to compute with. A gram of water is a milliliter. A milliliter of alcohol is only 0.8 of a gram, but we're not going to worry about the difference right now. So I zero out my scale, and then I pour my decocted elderleaf into the jar to see what I got. Looks like I got somewhere near 2 cups, but I'm going to be a little more precise. And what have I got? I got 430 grams. That's 430 milliliters of water. And you could do it differently. So I'm going to add to that 100 milliliters of alcohol, because 100 milliliters is equal to, I'm going to add 100 plus, but that'll weigh 90 grams or so. And I'm just going to add it in. Until I get my, I got 100 grams of of alcohol. And that gives me something that I can keep, won't go bad. I need to replace this lid with an airtight lid, because this particular one isn't airtight. And there's just a few other things you should know. You can do this with all elder species, red or black. If you've studied herbs in the past and you've heard that they're toxic, know that they're used the world over for medicine. You can use the stem, you can use the bark, you can use the roots. In this case, you don't want to use this for SARS or COVID on its own. You want to combine it with other antiviral herbs. And there's reasons for that, but I won't talk about it right now. And that's it. That's making a decocted elderleaf tincture. Thank you very much. And thanks to my lovely camera assistant, Dr. Robin.